Have you heard about the Spears sisters? It'd be hard if you haven't, because Britney Spears has been in the limelight for many decades, and her younger sister was well loved by many when she was the star of Zoey 101. Have you seen that show? Did you want one of the sidekicks? Because I know I did. Anyways, we're here to tell you about the latest news in the Spears world, so stick around and see what's been happening. How was Jamie Lynn blocked from speaking with Britney? It all came out recently. Jamie Lynn Spears has said that she wasn't allowed to tell her sister she was pregnant at 16 because the superstar was deemed untrustworthy. Oh no, that's not a good thing to think when it comes to your sibling. Jamie Lynn has released her memoir, Things I Should Have Said, and this was something she should have said. My team believed everyone outside of the inner circle was a potential threat. They went so far as hiding my pregnancy from my sister, claiming it's too risky to tell Britney about the baby. I needed her more than ever, and she wasn't able to help me in my most vulnerable time. Britney's condition was spiraling into something more concerning. They were concerned that her instability at that time made her untrustworthy. I went along with what my team told me to do because I was a minor and I didn't want to create any more issue. Wow, this is a tough situation to navigate. If you remember, the announcement of the pregnancy came out in December 2007 with OK Magazine. Jamie Lynn had this to say about that. Britney learned of the pregnancy when the article was released. To this day, the hurt of not being able to tell my sister myself lingers. Wow, imagine finding out your sister is pregnant from a magazine cover. I bet that was one wild ride for Britney as well. Perspective. If we put the time period in perspective, then we can see how Britney was acting. Britney had back-to-back babies with Kevin FEDERLINE in September 2005 and September 2006. The pair then split in November 2006. Next comes early 2007. Britney is suffering from postpartum depression, shaves her head, and is battling to have custody over her babies. October 2007 rolls around, and she loses custody over her two boys, leading to involuntary hospitalizations in January 2008. She was then forced into the conservatorship the next month, which she is still a part of. So if you throw in Jamie Lynn's pregnancy as well, that was a pretty wild ride for the Spears sisters. What do you think about Jamie Lynn not being allowed to tell Britney about the pregnancy? Should she have been allowed to tell her sister, or was not telling Britney the best decision at that time? Just goes to show you never really know what's going on in people's lives. Freedom for Britney. A California judge has terminated the conservatorship that has controlled Britney Spears' life and more for nearly 14 years. That's it. She's free. Turns out the decision capped a stunning 5-month odyssey that saw Spears demand the end of the conservatorship, hire her own attorney, and have her father removed from power, and finally win the freedom to make her own financial, medical, and personal decisions. When this was announced, fans were heard cheering and shouting outside the courthouse. That's to be expected when fans have been showing their love and support for the star over the past few years when it came to her conservatorship. This was a decision that was a surprise for everyone because we didn't know when this decision would be made. It could have been dragged out for years, but we're happy that it all worked out for Britney. Well, we're happy for you, Britney, and we hope you will be able to live the life you want to live. But we're not done yet. Keep watching to hear some more Britney-related news. Could there be more legal battles ahead? Legal experts said that it will be unlikely for more legal proceedings to go ahead, but who really knows? The judge allowed Britney to hire her own attorney, and that's how MATHEW ROSENGART got involved. ROSENGART made it his first goal to have James Spears removed as conservator of his daughter's finances before working to end the conservatorship altogether. The judge suspended James Spears from the conservatorship in September, citing that his presence created a toxic environment. But more courtroom battles could be appearing. ROSENGART has vowed to pursue an investigation of James Spears' role in his daughter's conservatorship. Mismanagement of the star's finances was found by himself and the team. This means Britney could pursue further legal actions if she wanted confronted. Also, he said that law enforcement should investigate the revelations of a listening device in Britney's bedroom, found in a New York Times documentary. Hold on, a listening device? I don't think he could stoop any lower, but I'm continuously surprised. Britney defends hitting Pap Hot Spa. Britney is speaking about her throwback outing from this weekend. Her and Sam are defending themselves and their decision about going to a hot spot known for Paps. Britney took to Instagram and posted, "What an amazing weekend. I feel like I was on cloud 9 the whole time. I actually got my first glass of champagne at the most beautiful restaurant I've ever seen last night. I'm celebrating my freedom and my B-Day for the next 2 months. I mean, after 13 years, I think I've waited long enough. I'm so happy my lawyer, MATHEW ROSENGART, came into my life when he did. He has truly turned my life around. I'm forever thankful for that. What a sight, seeing so many people celebrating my victory. I love my fans so much, so thank you." That post just warms my heart. Doesn't it do the same to yours? She should be celebrating her freedom because it's been a long time coming. Anyways, Britney Spears and Sam Asghari had a date night/dance night as they celebrated the end of her conservatorship. They were playing music in the car on the way to dinner, with Britney challenging her boyfriend to bust a move behind the wheel. Sam gives her a little dance in the video. How sweet. The pair ended up in WeHo at Catch, one of 5 restaurants in LA where celebs all know they will be greeted by the Pops, and of course, cameras were present for their arrival. Britney ducked down in her seat to avoid them and wore a ski mask when walking into the restaurant. We're happy that the couple got to celebrate such amazing news. What do you think? Are you wondering when the two will tie the knot now that the conservatorship has come to an end? I know we are. Will history repeat itself? We're all happy the conservatorship has ended, but many individuals are now worried that society will fall back into the same behavior that helped put her there more than 13 years ago. Over the past year, Spears' conservatorship has been the subject of many documentaries, headlines, and even a congressional hearing. The New York Times examined the scrutiny and the social media campaign in a documentary called Framing Britney Spears. However, now we need to see if the media and society have truly changed now that she has regained her freedom. There have been strides to offer Spears empathy in the public eye, but Tess Barker and Barbara Gray, the women behind the Britney's Gram podcast, are skeptical. Some people have already pointed out her more eccentric social media posts are grounds to keep her in the confining arrangement. Barbara had this to say: "That's certainly never any sort of grounds for anyone to be in something like a conservatorship, but you will see comments on her Instagram like, 'Oh, maybe she should be in a conservatorship,' and like, 'Are we sure if she's okay?' That's not how the system is supposed to work, and it feels very ableist, really poking fun at her, infantilizing her, and maybe not really understanding the gravity of the situation that she's been in." Spears' preferred outlet to communicate with her fans is Instagram, and her account was analyzed for years, which also helped to inspire the Britney's Gram podcast. In a candid post last month, Spears said that she's afraid to do simple tasks because she's worried the paparazzi will jump out at her. She wrote, "I'll be honest and say I've so long to be free from the situation I'm in, and now that it's here, I'm scared to do anything because I'm afraid I'll make a mistake. For so many years, I was always told if I succeeded at things, it could end, and it never did." It's understandable for her to be feeling this way because she hasn't had any control over herself for so many years. This is all new to her again, and I bet she's feeling really nervous all the time. GERRICK Kennedy, a cross-culture critic and author, wrote an essay called "We May Destroy Britney Again." It was inspired by the worries that Spears is one more subject of public obsession. He says that she is one of 5 to 10 celebrities that are still actively stalked, despite there being laws put in place. That's terrifying for anyone, knowing that you're being stalked. And for Britney, there might not be anything we can do. We can just hope and continue to be vocal about leaving her alone and trying to encourage her to live her most authentic life possible. And with that, we've reached the end, and we will have to part ways. What do you think about the end of the conservatorship and Britney now being able to do what she wants? What do you think about paparazzi and their stalking habits? Let us know down below.